Welcome to 5-Minute Pitch. I'm your host, Liz Saunders. 5-Minute Pitch is the competition that gives entrepreneurs from around the globe the opportunity to virtually pitch their business or product idea for the chance to win a grand prize of $50,000. This season, more than 30 entrepreneurs will pitch their ideas via Zoom conference call to our panel of 5 experts for the chance to advance to the finals and pitch to the judges live in Miami, Florida. Our panel of expert judges includes Greg Mercer, Steve Chu, Mike Jackness, and Scott Foker, all 7- and 8-figure e-commerce sellers who have run and sold multiple successful businesses. Today we are joined by guest judge Pat Flynn. Pat is a well-respected thought leader in the areas of online entrepreneurship, digital marketing, and lifestyle businesses. Today, Pascoe Bowen returns to pitch his Spinny blocks for a second time to try and secure a spot at the live finals in Miami. Good luck, Pascoe. This is 5-Minute Pitch.
Hey, Pascoe. Welcome back to the 5-Minute Pitch. Your pitch starts now.
Before I tell you about my product, I want to tell you a little bit more about myself and my co-founder, which is my wife, Kelly. We've been married for about 11 years now. We first met when I was a lonely sailor in the Navy, and she was a college student studying physical education. We've got 4 amazing kids who are our inspiration for everything that we do, and we love them to death. After the Navy, I ended up becoming the headmaster of a private school. My wife, Kelly, ended up teaching preschool for the same company, but at a different campus. We worked there for about 2 years. Didn't end up becoming our final career choice, but we learned so much about the importance of harnessing a child's desire to learn and the importance of reinforcing concepts. And we've been able to take what we've learned there and apply it to our own children as we homeschool them. So one of our heroes in early childhood education is Maria Montessori. Maria Montessori was very big on harnessing a child's natural desire to learn. So her classroom was very unorthodox. She would set it up with toys in there so that when children came in the morning, they would start playing with the toys. And then she found a way to harness that play and that love of learning into more traditional subjects like reading, writing, math, etc.
Pascoe and his wife had a long-time desire for entrepreneurship, so they decided to start their own business. After selling various products on Amazon, they discovered that the best seller was a wooden spinning block learning toy that they made by hand. Ultimately, they were unable to scale up their business and keep the product in stock. So let's see what Pascoe decided to do next.
And so finally, I set the task for myself of finding out, 1, how can we scale up the blocks? And 2, how can we differentiate ourselves? Because there were other sellers out there selling similar products. So the result ended up being we found a manufacturer who could make these blocks. And 2, we wrote our own book. And this book uses words that you can make with the blocks. So the child can read the blocks and then apply that to the book, Sam and Meg. So the book contains words from the blocks with some common sight words like and, the, and a. And you put them together and it makes a nice story. So that helps the child to reinforce the concept and to get an early win. So earlier this year, we had a big choice to make. The manufacturer we were working with, the minimum order size that they would do for these blocks was 1,000 units. And prior to all this, the most we'd ever sold in 1 month was 15 units. So we weren't sure if it would take us like 3 years to run out of inventory, were we making a big mistake? But we finally took the gamble and ordered 1,000 units. And then we started following the advice that all of you guys seem to be putting out, which is to improve our product photos, improve our listing write-up, and it paid off for us over time.
Previously only selling a maximum of 15 units per month, over the next 3 months, Pascoe's sales grew to over 300 units per month. Simultaneously, they were making improvements to their product with the manufacturer, but were also rapidly running out of stock on Amazon. With the order of revamped products placed, they could only hope for an on-time delivery.
On September 20th of this year, we got in our big order of 5,000 units, and we had 20 units left in stock on Amazon. So I was kind of freaking out, and I decided I couldn't wait for the truck to get from the port in Long Beach to my house. So I drove the 4 hours from my house down to the port in Long Beach, rented a U-Haul truck, drove down to the warehouse, picked up my 3 pallets of inventory, got it put in the back of the van, and then put my car on a tow dolly and started driving home. And I stopped along the way to package up some inventory and send it off to FBA. So it ended up being a marathon, 22-hour-long day, but the upside was that we didn't run out of stock, and we were able to keep our momentum. So since then, we've got our ads back on Amazon, and we've seen our sales increase. So our cost to produce the product landed is about $5. Sale price has varied from $19 all the way up to $37. Recently, we made it onto page 1 of our category. We got to number 46, so we were pretty stoked about that. So these are some new products that we're working on. We're working on a set of 5 books, one for each bow, set to accompany the blocks. So we're in the process of writing that and in the process of working with some illustrators. We're also working on a Montessori counting kit that uses wooden beads that the children can use to count. We've got 2 different versions, one that you line up underneath these wooden numbers, and then the other one is a token one like this with the number of ladybugs on the back and then the numeral on the other side. The kit also comes with a book that my wife and I wrote called Little Ladybugs Count With Me. And it's just kind of a rhyming book that to kind of help the children along. We've also found that rhyming and song helps out a lot with child development and with early learning. Here's a breakdown of how the 50K will be used. So right off the bat, I'll be honest with you, marketing is probably our biggest weakness. Marketing is something that I just feel overwhelmed by because there's so many different avenues that we could go down, so many different venues. So the way that I've broken down our marketing is $1,000 set aside to mail samples to 200 influencers to try and get them to promote our product, $3K to create an ad video, and then $1,000 for ads on highly trafficked education websites and blogs, and then $5K to spread out evenly between YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Google, Pinterest, and try and figure out which one has the best ROI. Then I've got $10K set aside on inventory for products currently in development, and those are the books and the Ladybug Counting Kit that you saw on the last slide. And then $20K reserved to purchase best-selling inventory. So one of the lessons learned from this year was we had inventory that was moving rapidly, that had a high amount of velocity, and then we had to scale back on our advertising because we were worried about running out of inventory. So I want to keep some money in reserve to be able to spend on that so we don't have to let up on the gas. And then money set aside to travel to meet with the manufacturer. We have had some quality issues, and I want to get everything dialed in before the next big launches. And then money set aside for prototypes for materials to experiment with new ideas. Okay, thank you so much. The biggest ask I have from you guys is help me with marketing. Please help me on where I need to focus because I'm feeling really overwhelmed.
Great job, Pascoe.
We'll be right back after a quick word from our sponsor.
If you are looking to buy or sell your online business, then look no further. FE International is the market leader when it comes to M&A, and they've completed hundreds of millions in SaaS, e-commerce, and content business acquisitions since 2010. Now, I've known the founders for quite some time, and over the years, FE International has adapted and fine-tuned the marketing and acquisition process to create a proven and efficient model which gets results for buyers and sellers alike. And what I specifically like about FE is they provide personalized service. So if you're looking to buy or sell a business, go to feinternational.com.
Pascoe gave another great pitch for his business. Let's see what questions the judges have for him.
Is this your full-time job, or do you have another thing that's going on too for income?
Yeah, so this is not our full-time job. We've also got a custom beverage catering company that we're running too. So we take classic pickup trucks and we serve beverages out of them at weddings and other events. And then I also do some contracting too as a project manager.
And I'd just love to hear from you, like, why are you doing this, especially with this particular product? Which, great presentation, by the way. I love the hustle, the story about getting the truck with like a 23-hour day. I mean, we all have done similar things and can completely relate. But what I want to know is, like, why are you doing this? What's your why?
We're both drawn to entrepreneurship, to have more control over our own lives and our families and our destiny. We're parents. We've got our own kids, and we want to help other families to help their children learn and develop.
And then related to your other businesses that you have, if this were to go a little bit further and become a little bit more successful, would you be willing to stop doing those other things, or would you want to continue to do multiple businesses at the same time?
So the project management contracting, that I would probably scale back if this thing really took off. The other one, the beverage catering one, I would want to keep going with it. It's a really fun business. We get to bring out, classic trucks, and we're serving drinks out of it. And a lot of that is stuff that I can delegate to other people. I've got other bartenders and stuff that I work with that can go out and do events. But I kind of like the two businesses together. On the one hand, we're helping people out at their wedding, to have a really great time. And then on the other hand, we're helping them out on the kids' side, to help them. So I kind of like that idea of helping people enjoy, kind of different parts of their lives.
I love the products. My question is a little bit on the business that I wasn't aware of that you had on the back. And it doesn't concern me, but it kind of does. Just because I know what it takes to really go all in, and I've done that. I balanced, I'm still doing it in some cases, but I also have people that can help me now with that stuff. When you are working, whether it's with your wife or your partner or whatever, it becomes harder as that business begins to grow. Something will slip. There will be something that will take a back seat. That's what I've found. And so I guess I want you to just speak a little bit more to that. Help us understand where you are, where your plan is, that if this thing does blow up, or the other one does this take a back seat? Where's your thoughts there?
Well, those would both be nice problems to have, right?
They are, but there's still problems though.
Too much success. Yeah. So one skill set that I would say that I really bring to the table is my background in project management. And so in project management, you really have to learn how to delegate a lot of things out. So I've managed over $100 million in projects throughout my career. So I'm not afraid to contract out more of the business as we go along. In fact, if I could find like a really good marketing contractor right now, I would probably, hand them a lot of the stuff right now instead of me kind of fumbling through with it. But to answer your question, I mean, if this product just took off overnight, I'd probably put the catering truck on the back burner. If the catering truck took off overnight, I would probably have to put this on the back burner. But the good news about this, at least with what we're doing right now, is we ship our inventory off to our warehouse, and then they're handling the fulfillment, and the ads are kind of going, on autopilot. So I think for a while, this business could kind of coast until we're ready to release the next product, until we're ready to release the next video or do some other kind of aggressive marketing campaign there. So does that answer your question?
Yeah, it gives me a little bit more of an insight.
How much are you and Kelly seen behind this brand? Like, are your guys' story told on the website, and do they even know who you are, or is it more of just a product that's there that people can buy and there's no relationship with you there? Right
now, it's just the product's there for people to buy. We haven't told our story on our website. Our website is currently a Shopify store, and we haven't done a ton with it. I don't have a lot of content on there right now.
Is there a reason why?
Marketing is my weak spot, and finding good ways to create content and create it authentically is something that I'm still working on.
Is your wife willing to get in front and kind of be more of the face of the brand along with you, but is she also as passionate about this as you?
Yeah, I would say she's even more passionate about it than I am. She's good with people. She's good with getting out in front of things.
I'm just worried about
both out there or her, whatever works out best.
Like anybody could make one of these.
Yeah, and we're looking at them right now. There's a bunch of them on Amazon.
Right, and so from my perspective in business, I always worry about and focus on the relationship with my audience and being a human and having people connect with me, not the product, but with me and why I'm doing it, so that they'll be invested despite having competitors who create other things. And then they'll be more likely to buy more products.
What is the reason? Because you asked a really good question. Why? Right? Why are you doing this? And if the catering thing was just, again, to bring in money while you were able to do this, that would have been a better answer for me personally, because then I'd be like, oh, he's just doing it to kind of fill the void until he gets this thing really rocking and rolling. And that's where I was trying to come. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying that is kind of where I was trying to go with it. And I think the content piece is a big play here, like you said, because there is, like Greg, you pulled it up, right? I mean, there's a ton of competition, right? So for you guys, you got to bring people into your story. And I think husband and wife,
military, kids are beautiful. I
was just trying to imagine if I just looked at your product by itself without seeing your presentation, and after seeing your presentation, I just loved your product even more. It just adds a whole lot of value to it.
Whole nother level.
I'm having a hard time understand like how you're going to like make a real dent into this market. Because we were talking, you're selling 300 units a month of this right now. The competition, I think we asked about this in round one of the pitch, was selling something like 600 units a month. So walk me through how this goes from a small lifestyle business to something that's going to blow up and make a great story for the 5-minute pitch and become something that's like your entire life and not just kind of that side hustle.
For Pascoe, this comes down to marketing via ads, influencer promotion, or putting out their own content to attract customers. He wants to convey the message that this is more than a toy, but an important learning tool for children in order to sell more units and go big.
Do you want this to go big? Like, how big do you want it to go? If you had a magic wand.
I would love it if it went big.
If you had a magic wand and it was like
sure.
exactly where you wanted it to be right now, what would it look like to you?
So it would look like selling like 75,000 units per year. It would look like, being kind of the go-to product for parents of preschoolers of looking at, okay, I want my child to read. I want my child to be able to count, to get better at math. What's the product that I go to? What's the kit that I get? So it would look like that kind of buzz, for that early reader market. And it would also look like, I think in the future, we would like to do something where we maybe partner up with some kind of organization where we could provide them with, free kits, free reading kits for what we do to help out with childhood literacy and getting kids on the right path. So I'd like to be seen as kind of the go-to product for families that are trying to teach their children how to read.
There's 7 other amazing contestants that are in the semifinals here in this round of 8. Why should we let you through versus the others? Why are you special? Why do you belong in the finals?
I think we've got a great product that we've been working on. I think we've got a great backstory. And if we made it into the final set, I think we'd have a compelling story to tell. And if we ultimately ended up, winning, getting the money and being able to invest that in marketing would really help us to blow up and get on the map and get a lot more viewers. We could say that we got our start, here on the show.
Excellent. Well,
Awesome.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Great job, Pascoe. Have a nice day.
Pascoe had an interesting Q&A session with the judges. Let's see how they feel about Spinny blocks the second time around.
I really like him.
Yeah.
I do too. I liked him even more this time.
Really?
Yeah, I did, yeah.
All right.
Scotty over here started peeling the onion back a little bit. It's not the passion business. It's not. I feel like he's listened to some of these podcasts, heard about Amazon FBA, did some jungle scouting, found a product. That's fine. That's a good way to make a side hustle money. But it didn't seem like he was really passionately behind this product and this brand.
I kept trying to see how passionate he was, and I didn't feel exactly 100% that this is like his lifelong goal.
Yeah, nice guy and family
But is
man
that
and
bad,
doing
though?
hustle.
No.
I don't think it's bad either.
I think he's trying to figure out, he said it, he wants to be an entrepreneur, right? Like he's just interested in that. But he does want to, be with his family and he wants to create that lifestyle business. Is he creating a lifestyle business or a bigger business, I guess? Because that's the other question that we always ask ourselves. And to me, yeah, I want to help both, right? I'd love to help someone be able to live that lifestyle. But the truck story, the catering thing it shifted it for me a little bit because, and it's not about the alcohol, it's just that it's a separate business and it's gonna require a separate time. And if it blew up, then the other thing takes a back burner. So it's like.
I think it just depends on what your financial situation is. If you're depending on these businesses to earn a living, you're gonna go with the one that's making more.
Yeah. Totally, that's how I feel right now. And I would have probably said the same thing if I was him.
And I don't
I'm trying
think
to stay alive right now, guys. Like, I just need some money.
And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just a matter of, for this business that, the money would be being applied towards.
You're probably right in one respect. He shouldn't have said, I would put it on the back burner.
Right.
Yeah. I would have said I would have worked on both.
Or as a project manager, I would have hired a whole bunch of people.
Yes.
It's nice, honesty.
That would have been a good one, right? And he did kind of say that he's good at that and all that, but that wasn't like the direct, like, oh, that's easy. I'm a project manager. I'd have it running both because I'm good at that stuff. I would
contract out maybe the catering business as it got bigger.
Yeah.
And focus my.
He kind of did hint at that.
Yeah.
He did. Yeah.
He did.
He did.
I like the new products that are coming out. I think that this could be expanded much bigger than something that just sells 75,000 units.
Yeah.
Like that kind of surprised me that was his magic wand.
I'm surprised he gave a number for that. I don't know.
Well, and it was a number of units. It wasn't.
I was
a number
actually
of
looking more
money.
for a long-term vision. So when he started out with 75,000 units, I was like taken aback a little bit there.
Right. I was looking for a vision too, like the premier children or Montessori school children's toys. Like, continue.
Does this toy survive on its own or without the other aspect?
Fantastic question, and I don't know if it does.
I think we're looking for something that's going to be a great story, like long term, and this is really going to like make a difference in their lives and their business, and produce products that kind of help change the world. And I don't know. Like again, I'm going with my gut. Like obviously, I can't get in the guy's headspace, but it feels like again, I got on Jungle Scout, was kind of looking for something versus I had this idea. This is my passion. I want to change the world. I want to get screen time away from kids and get back to the old way of learning and help development of childhood brains and stuff. Like you see all these stories about how being in front of a screen as an infant or a young kid completely changes the development of the brain.
Yeah.
I'd like to talk more about that, and I don't know, it just seemed like they found that product on Jungle Scout. They look for a way to create a story.
It's his fault.
Versus it is.
It is.
I don't know. That's just kind of what I'm thinking. I mean, and again, as you were saying, is that bad? I mean, I don't know. I'm not saying this is bad. It just is that the business that moves to the next round in the
To be
5-minute
fair,
pitch?
though, he didn't just pick any random Jungle Scout.
No, he
product,
didn't.
Right? He picked one within his discipline.
He did, and he learned and then he started going into a direction of what he was more interested in. He did say that.
Yeah.
He launched multiple
So it's
products.
not. Yeah.
I'm not. This isn't criticizing. I mean,
Well,
I
no,
think
I know.
we all.
I know.
I mean, I'll be a hypocrite.
That'll come
I've used
later.
Jungle Scout and done the same thing, right? So,
There's a lot to like about this couple too. That
Yeah.
I don't think we're
Yeah.
said
I
here.
think there's a ton of potential.
This guy is a hustler, man. He's
They step up.
stayed up 22 hours to drive.
I love that
love
part.
that
I know.
story.
Great
I've
story.
never done that with any of
man.
my inventory. Like, also got a stock for a few days.
Yeah, that was pretty impressive.
Right? And he's a guy that can just make stuff happen, even if he has no experience there. He seems sharp. He's an excellent communicator. Out of all of our contestants, I'd probably have more, even though he's the first to admit that he's like no marketing experience, and that's a weak point of his. I'm confident he could figure out how to do Facebook ads well,
Right.
and do a number of these things. Whereas some of our contestants, I'm not sure about that. I mean, so he could take this business to the next level. I'm confident in him as a founder to be able to make it happen.
and part of what you get if you win the 5-minute pitch is our help kind of solving some of those problems. I think
Totally.
that he definitely seems the kind of guy that if you taught him or showed him how to do that stuff, he could easily carry on
Or
with
even
it. Like he
directed
has
him.
Yeah, he could.
That's what I'm saying.
And I'd be
I think that-
confident he would be able to
Right,
execute.
which I think
Yeah.
is important to be able to have
Yeah.
that aspect.
Yeah, it's gonna be another tough one, guys.
Yeah.
I'm really kind of undecided at this point.
Great pitch, Pascoe. Stay tuned to see if he will advance to the finals in the second deliberation round. Next time on 5-Minute Pitch, John Ford returns to pitch his product for a second time to the judges in the hopes of advancing on to the finals in Miami.